In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the College Conversations podcast. I'm your host, Ben Jordan. We're here recording this podcast today on a beautiful sunny day in Minnesota. The weather is great. I finally get to wear shorts again. Today I'm joined by a very special guest. My own girlfriend is on the show today, Annie Nguyen. It's really good to have her on. I've been planning to have her on the podcast for a while, and it was highly requested by a lot of people. So, Annie, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
I'm Annie. I'm a second-year student at the University of Minnesota. I'm a health and wellness major, and I'm minoring in Asian American Studies. And I plan on going to OT school in the future. So, yeah.
Gotcha. And everyone really wanted me to have Annie on just because we've been dating for a long time. We've been dating for almost three years now. Yeah, 2 to 3 years. And that's a long time, especially for the average college relationship, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
So today's topic is going to be about, college and dating during college, basically. But what do you think the secret is, Annie? How are we here 2.5 years later?
I think
still dating?
Probably just communicating with each other so well. Like, you don't want to have empty spaces when it comes to communicating. You have to text one another, at least call, or make the effort to see each other too, because before I switched over here to the U of M, we were in 2 different institutions, so it was dating was a lot harder than most, but we were still in the same state, still in the same city and stuff, but our schedules would get in the way. But I think we combat that pretty well with just, I don't know, FaceTiming with each other once in a while, just texting frequently, and getting to see each other. So yeah.
Yeah, just doing the basic stuff, I guess, making time for each other and whatnot. But yeah, so now we go to the same school. We didn't last year for a whole year.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of that? Was that tough?
It was really hard for me because we've been going to the same school since first grade. So seeing each other every day in high school and middle school and just elementary school too, it completely changes everything. Since we started dating in high school, just because we saw each other in classes, we would go to the same school in general, and just seeing each other every day was the norm. And just not being able to see each other after that, knowing that we're both going to different schools was really difficult because we're on our own. And I don't know, it was kind of hard to accept at first, but we made it work.
Yeah, that's true. Just, going from hanging out with each other every day to then only seeing each other a few times a month, a few times a month, I would say that's a big transition to make, but we're here today, so that's all that matters. But yeah, everyone thought that you were going to come on the podcast and roast me. That's what they thought it was going to be, but do you have any roasts for me? I mean, I think I'm a great boyfriend. Truly. I try my best, everybody. I try my best.
Ben could try harder going to food places, foodie places, not Burger King and all that greasy food kind of place. I mean, we need some aesthetics in our relationship here. When it comes to going to restaurants and stuff, I would say that's one area he needs to work on. But yeah. Yeah,
for those of you who don't know, Annie here is a full-time Instagram foodie and has do you have your own food page? You should have your own food page by this point.
I thought about it, but I don't know. I kind of like the stories and stuff a little bit.
Well, your
better.
Personal page is already basically a food page,
true,
we could say.
True. Yeah.
But if you go on her Instagram and you find her, is it in your stories or on your profile?
Mm-hmm.
There's a picture of every single fancy looking nice food you've ate in the past year or two.
I think starting from January 2018, since we went to New York together.
Yeah, it's like a book. It's like a book of different foods. So she's really into food and going out to nice places to eat. And I'm totally fine with just going to Burger King. So there's a lot of conflict that can arise with those two different. Because I always said that my taste buds were, they didn't, I don't care what I eat really. It's strange to sound
Ben
I don't.
has a taste buds of a elementary schooler. He eats mac and cheese all the time and he only eats pasta mostly. his diet doesn't really involve with that many fruits and vegetables. Until recently, he started eating apples and carrots more often than like I would usually see. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
can even eat a salad now too. I
yeah,
used
I'm
to
proud of you.
never eat salads at all. But yeah, I'm like my standards of foods are really low, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I can eat like a box of $1 mac and cheese and be like this smacks, or I can eat like hamburger helper, and I think hamburger helper is just totally delicious. I love that stuff. But I don't think your standards are
No.
a little bit higher than that.
Yeah, they for sure are. Cause like growing up, I didn't eat that many processed foods. Cause like my parents like would do like a lot of home cooking too. So I don't know. Like we never would shun like box mac and cheese. Like it's not a thing. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean living in college is tough though. I
definitely.
don't think too many people are really cooking here.
No.
So I mean I try my best, but like you said, I just make pasta, sandwiches, hamburger helper, mac and cheese, really easy stuff. Every once in a while I'll make chicken, but yeah, there's a limit to how much I'm able to cook, but I'm better than some people.
Yeah, it's like time consuming too, especially when you're a student. And
Yeah,
a
very
lot of
time
like fresh
consuming.
foods really do cost a lot.
Very time consuming,
And like
yeah.
there's not too many grocery stores like within like the campus area. If you count Target, I guess you could, but
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, so, and right now too, a lot of our friends are actually, not too many of them are in relationships. Of the people that I know, not too many. There's like maybe a few. But I always get that people say like, oh, you guys have such a chill relationship and whatnot, and not too
Mm-hmm.
many problems arise. That's what people told me. But have people told you the same thing?
Yeah, like they think that we like have like the perfect relationship. I mean, like I don't deny it, but like we do have like a good dynamic with each other. Like sometimes like there will be like tension and stuff. Like every couple will have that. And like people will get angry at each other at some point, but we overcome those things like pretty easily just cuz like we're very understanding of our needs like for each other too. So,
Mm-hmm. And some couples will try to turn every small little thing into an argument when it really
mhm.
doesn't need to be. And just little things will piss each other off. But I think we're generally pretty good at just not getting annoyed with each other, or
Yeah.
not letting like little things interfere too much.
And I also think it helps too cuz like we were pretty close friends before we started dating each other. So we kind of knew like what we liked and what we didn't like and like our boundaries with each other too. So that helped out a lot.
That's very true. I think it's always a good idea to be friends with someone
For
before
sure.
you date them. I couldn't imagine just
Jumping
meeting
in.
someone and yeah, jumping right into a relationship, because you don't know enough about that person, and you don't know like who their friends are and whatnot. And I think also meeting a person, meeting a partner's friends is really important too when deciding like to date them. Do you think
Yeah,
that's
for
true?
sure. Like for me, I really really like admired the fact that like you introduced me to your friends like here at the U,
Mm-hmm.
and like just knowing getting to know them like too was like really nice cuz like they get to know me and I get to like know them, and
Yeah.
it builds like these great relationships with each other cuz we kind of have each other's back too, so it's nice.
Yeah, mutual friendships are really a really good thing in relationships, I think. But overall, I mean, it's not too hard to maintain a relationship in college. For us, it works out pretty well. We just have sort of a set schedule when we see each other,
Mhm.
because you're not living on campus
No.
right
So
now.
that does make it a little bit hard sometimes, but like we will like make time for each other like specific days, say like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or like sometimes it'll be like twice a week or at most like it'll be 3 times a week cuz we still need our own space for ourselves too. And I think that could be a problem too with like other couples in college cuz they sometimes couples do spend too much time together like on everyday basis, and sometimes you kind of need like a breather.
Mm-hmm.
So like us like having that 1 day gap or like weekend gap like does really help. Like
That's true. I think spending too much time with each other could be a bad thing. I think it's a bad thing for a lot of couples, and I see it a lot too. If people move in with their partner and whatnot, they get into a lot of fights. I mean, even if you when you move in with anyone, you get into like fights with them, right? If you move in with a roommate and you spend so much time around that person, eventually you get tired of your roommates. Or if you go on a vacation with someone, eventually you're going to get tired of vacationing with this person. So too much time is definitely a bad time. You still have to have your alone time, your own set of hobbies, your own set of goals. Because there's some couples out there who are like super attached to each other.
Yeah, like
you know
they're
what
really
I mean?
dependent of each other.
Yeah, like everything in their world relies around the other person. Like anytime they do something, it has to be with the other person, and just every breathing moment has to be with them. So, and that can turn out really, really bad, especially if that kind of couple breaks up too. Then they're just
it hurts even more for them,
emotionally shattered.
Yeah,
right. But I don't think we're really like that in a way. Definitely not like super.
We're
super
pretty
dependent.
Independent, like with our relationship. Like we'll do our own thing. Like, hey, what are you doing today? Like, I did this or whatever, and we'll like spend time with each other too. So it's nice to do things together, but like you always got to make sure that you do things for yourself too, not for the other person.
Yeah, and you don't always have. We don't always like have to go on dates or like over the top kind of dates. You can just have like a pretty chill day where you just go and study.
Yeah.
Or you just go and chill and watch YouTube videos. Like you don't always have to be going out to eat or to movies or trying to entertain the other person. Because, I mean, after a while too, right? Like when you get 2 or 3 years into a relationship, I always tell people it's way different than like the first months or like the first year is like really different. Like I often describe to people that we've become like an old couple.
Yeah, we are described as an old couple sometimes, just because like we'll just sit on the couch together and just do absolutely nothing and just like watch like podcasts or like YouTube videos together.
Right.
And I think that's like kind of nice because you get that one-on-one time with each other. It doesn't have to be a date. Like every day is a date. And I think that a lot of new couples especially think that every day the date has to be in like a whole entire different setting.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be that way. I mean, as long as you're spending time with one another, that's what counts. So
right, that's true. You don't have to try to go over the top and impress someone and spend a bunch of money with that person and whatnot. You just can go. You don't always have to do. There's a lot of free, fun things you can do, like free date ideas. You know what I mean? Where you can just hang out with the person, or you can even like cook together instead of going out to eat. You could save a lot of money by doing that.
Yeah, we've done that a few times too, which is like nice because like you get to do something together. Like still it doesn't have to be meaning like you spend money and stuff.
Right.
I think like going on top of that too, like in high school, like your standards of dating are completely different from when like you're actually in a relationship like in college. Just because like you're on a budget in high school, like you don't really care that much like where you go because like people care about just having the boyfriend, just having the girlfriend, like being able to go here and there, but really that you don't really need those things. You can just like do simple stuff.
So how have the standards changed though?
Drastically.
Or how have your standards changed? I
mean, when we first started dating, like you kind of set the bar high, I'm not gonna lie, because like Ben took me out to the art museum, and like that was pretty like putting the bar pretty high. And we also went to like a sushi place afterwards, and after eating sushi together we ate ice cream and like walked around like the park together and like Lake Calhoun. So that's like pretty different from what we have like right now, you know. Like we spent a lot of money back then in high school compared to like nowadays. So
yeah, that's true. I forgot that I did all those things.
Yeah, I mean the first time, like I think that you have such heavy hard eyes like for someone that you want to like go above and beyond for that person.
Right.
And when you're in the relationship for so long, it's like, hey, I know like how this person like is, like you still show like love and affection towards them, and that's what matters. Like that's what you need. And then you don't need materialistic things.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier too. And it's like some people I feel like try to impress whoever they're trying to get with way too much. And if you just be yourself, like the other person will like you. That's what I've found to be true for the most part. Like, if you just be yourself and don't try to be fake and
Yeah.
be someone else. Like the other person will like get them to like you, but I don't know. How did this all happen, do you think? When did it all start for us?
Like, what do you mean?
Probably, so we started dating in like the last year of high school.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was like homecoming senior year.
Homecoming senior year.
Yeah.
Okay, so
But it started like, it would have started earlier.
it would have
Like,
started earlier. But
Junior, if Ben like asked me out sooner, but he never did. It still hasn't. But that's for another time. But yeah, we went to prom together junior year of high school, and that's like where it started it all. Because to be honest, I never thought like I would date Ben.
wow. What are you trying to say?
Well, I mean, like people tell you don't date your best friend, and yeah, I mean, I didn't think I would actually like date my best friend, but like he's so compatible like with me. Like he understands like me as like a person at an emotional level. So yeah, which is nice, and highly recommend being friends like with the person you date before you actually go for it. You know.
Yeah. What would you say to the people who they have someone that they like, but they just don't know how to do it? How do you in college approach someone that you like and try to get them to like you back?
For sure, communicate a lot. Don't like go after them like saying like being stalkerish or anything, or
Right.
kind of scare them off. You kind of want to start out like, hey, I want to be your friend, you know, but don't get yourself to the point where like you're gonna friend zone like that person or your own self, because like you do want to show like you do care for this person and you want something out of it too.
Yeah.
But do it in like a subtle way.
Yeah, a lot of guys get trapped in the friend zone, I think.
Yeah.
Why is that? Why are girls doing that to guys left and right?
I think part of it, girls like have too high of standards too, especially like the ones who have never dated. Because social media also affects that too. Because you'll see a lot of girls posting like, "Oh my God, my boyfriend bought me this. He got me flowers. He took me out to eat. We went to the park together." But sometimes those things aren't realistic. Like, and it's all for show.
That's true.
And girls just want that, and they want like the perfect looking boyfriend. And I think they really disregard like other guys' personalities a lot, because like people have so much to offer each other.
That's true. I never thought of how social media does affect people's relationships and standards, but that's definitely a huge thing, because if you go on some of these whatever Instagram influencer pages, you're going to see just very unrealistic goals being set of couples, giving each other extravagant gifts, going to extravagant places. And I didn't really think about how that would affect girls' standards. But I feel like often girls' standards probably are a little bit higher than guys' standards. I don't know. And there's even like expectations, you know, that guys like pay for meals and whatnot.
Which we don't do, surprisingly, in this like our relationship. Like we pay like our own sometimes. And
sometimes. I mean,
on occasions we'll like one of us like will pay for each other, but we're pretty independent people.
I mean, I think I've paid slightly more, but I don't know. That's for most guys. What do you think of that?
I mean,
that standard that a guy goes out and pay for your meal.
I actually talked to my friend about this recently, and like she doesn't like it, and I don't either. Just because like he doesn't have to be like the one who's like paying for you all the time. Like you should be capable of paying for like your own stuff too.
Yeah.
And like there's so many like guys who are tied down to like girls, like, oh, like, can you buy me this? Can you get me this? Like when they're shopping together.
Right.
And it's
Kinda
like a
being
trap.
used.
Yeah. And I don't know, I just hate it, because it was essentially like some girls become gold diggers, and I've seen that too. And it's just not okay, because like I think what's pretty like attractive for like a girl, like from a guy's perspective, maybe, like I can't speak for like some guys, but like some guys that I know, that they say that when a girl is independent and like uses her own money and like knows how to manage her money, it's pretty like attractive, because like, you know that she's capable of like just her doing her, you know, she doesn't have to rely on someone else.
Yeah. I think guys like to see like girls to have their own money, and they're not just getting all their money from their dad or whatever and whatnot.
Yeah, you want a working girl. That's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, definitely, I think if you're going out on like a very fancy thing, or you're celebrating an anniversary, or you're going on a first date, I think then it's right for the guy to pay for the meal, because it's just kind of like being a gentleman. And I think it is important, but I think on just your average night out, I mean, you have to work it out as a couple. I mean, definitely, like, of course, when you get older and you're in like your 40s and 50s, you're like my parents' age, like, then it doesn't really matter because their money's kind of combined, you know? So it's just like, just pay for one another's meals. It doesn't matter. But I feel like if you're in college, it's a little different. Like, you're both definitely not super financially rich and whatnot. So
Set boundaries.
it's
for
nice.
Sure.
It's nice to be able to pay independent, but you got to work that out too. And I mean, there's cases too when couples just recently get married and then they combine bank accounts or something, and then a lot of things can go wrong when that happens, right? A lot of overspending can happen, reckless spending, and that's never good too. So you can kind of just, the best thing to do is probably just talk it over, right?
Yeah. I think like it's always like good to set boundaries with each other. Like, you don't want one person spending all of it or one person paying like for everything. You need to like really set like a middle ground for each other.
Yeah. Or what we do is like we kind of switch off, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I buy like dinner, and then the next day maybe you buy the movie ticket,
Mm-hmm.
and the next time I'll buy the snacks, or
Yeah.
I'll buy the museum like admission and whatnot. Just kind of switching off like that. But that's kind of how it works with friends too, I feel like.
Yeah.
With me and my friends, like, hey, I'll buy pizza this time, and then you get it next time. And I kind of like that system the best. But some people can't always commit to that.
Yeah.
Bad at paying people
I think it's
back.
like harder for people who are in relationships because like that set standard that like men should be the ones who are paying. But
Yeah. But besides that, I mean, men paying for the stuff and whatnot, we've had we've never had arguments over that. We've all been pretty chill and whatnot.
yeah, if anything, it would be like, no, I can pay for this. Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, everyone said that dating in college was going to be like the hardest thing and whatnot, but I don't know. Like I said earlier, it doesn't seem too necessarily hard. I feel like we're doing like a couples therapy session right now.
Yeah. I mean, it is hard if you're going from high school like to college like we did.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you just got to work on communication. That's like what a lot of people lack in.
Yeah. It'd be harder too because if you meet someone in college, you're just meeting them for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And you haven't known them. Like I said, you don't know much about this person, how they're like and whatnot. But since we've known each other basically all our lives, we know each other's traits. We know each other's friends. We know how each other operates, interests. It's a lot harder, I feel like, if you're meeting someone for the first time at like 20 years old, and this is the first time you've seen him.
We've been luckier than most people just because like it's like a new fish in the water, basically. And it's kind of scary because like you're pretty vulnerable during that time too. And same as the other person. You don't know what you're getting yourself into. That person doesn't either.
Right. It's nice too because we can like reflect back on things that have happened in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Just like funny moments, nostalgic moments, whatnot. So it's like a connection or like a conversation starter that we have a lot. What do you think about how much do you think we communicate on text? I mean, we pretty much text every day.
Every day.
But
yeah.
I wouldn't say like excessively.
No, I mean, we'll do what we got to do throughout the day, but whenever we do have downtime, we'll reply, you know?
Yeah.
It's not going to be like, oh my God, he has to reply within like 5 seconds after I send this text. Like, there are some people who are very obsessive like that.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's
we're
true.
not like that at all.
That's true.
Because
like, oh
I know
gosh.
that he could be busy too, and I can be busy because we're both college students. Like, we both work, and it's difficult to like juggle that around. But as long as you find the time to talk, that's like what matters.
Yeah, we're not like, oh my gosh, he left me on red or she left me on red.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of thing either. But and I don't even use social media too much either. I think social media can be bad for people's relationships.
For sure.
You think so too?
Yeah. Just because, like, well, from a girl's perspective, sometimes a lot of girls will flaunt like their relationship online, but some people, I think sometimes it's better just to keep it to yourself too.
Mm-hmm.
Like a post here and there is like fine, but like you don't have to post every single detail of your relationship,
Right.
like on the daily. Like, he did this for me today, we went and did this. But like, I mean, I think it makes you lose that the present time you are with like your partner,
Yeah.
and you want to be in the moment, and social media takes that away completely.
Right. Like, instead of taking all these pictures of what you guys are doing and everything you're eating and whatnot, just put down your phone and just enjoy like the date, like enjoy the moment, right?
Yeah, we have a rule like during our dates, like when we go out to eat, like no like phones at the dinner table.
That was my rule. I've seen you breaking that a few times.
For the food pictures, but like that's it.
But yeah, I recommend everyone should do that. No phones at the dinner table rule. I think it's a really good thing to do. I think it's just disrespectful to have your phone on the dinner table. That's something my mom taught me, though, and I agree with that, too. And nothing annoys me more than when I go to a restaurant and look around and I see other couples just on their phone the whole time.
Yeah, like they don't even talk. It's like,
Yeah.
what? Like, why are you even here? 'Cause,
Right.
like, you want to
so
have like an
strange.
intimate like conversation, and like having a phone in front of your face just takes that away completely.
Right. And it just seems so strange at like a restaurant, which seems like one of the best places to have like a deep conversation is probably at a restaurant over a meal. And when I see that, I'm just like, what are they doing? Like, how are they doing that? So, I mean, I do this with friends too. I don't like when people are texting people or going on social media at the dinner table. It's like, yo, you can do that any other time, but now is not the time for that, I don't think.
Yeah.
We're pretty good about that rule, I think. So I mean, that really helps. But yeah, anything else you think about dating in college and whatnot?
Not that I can think of right now.
Yeah, I mean, we've done a lot. We talked about a lot today and whatnot on it, but I think we'll end the podcast there then. If you guys liked the podcast or still listening, make sure you like and subscribe. Leave us a good rating on Apple Podcasts. It's always nice. If you have any questions for Annie, she'll probably be on in the future. If you have any more questions about dating, just send me a message at College Conversations on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is College Convo Pod. Just definitely shoot us a message about what you'd like to ask Annie or what you would like to see in future episodes of the show. But yeah, any parting words, Annie, for everyone out there looking for their girlfriend, their boyfriend in college?
Just keep trying, but don't scare them off.
Yeah, don't scare them off. Just keep trying. All right, those were good. That's good advice right there. So I'll see you guys later. Thanks for listening.